As many of you may know, Titanfall 2 hit an all-time high player count on Steam over that free weekend. There were as many as 30,000 players on at any given moment, and the player count did not really drop below about, 10,000 at least for a week and a half. But where are all those players now? I expected this to happen, honestly, but Titanfall 2 is now back to its usual pre-free weekend player count from anywhere from 2,000 to 6,000 players, and it sucks. I think deep down, I was hoping that maybe these new players would stick to Titanfall 2, learn the game, and be a longtime fan, and I'm sure there's plenty of new players sticking around because I am seeing a lot of lower level pilots, but this kind of sparked a question in my head. Why do new players stop playing Titanfall 2? I'm going to break it down into the two main reasons I believe new players leave Titanfall. Now keep in mind, I'm only talking about the multiplayer in this video, not the single player. So first, the movement. Movement is the staple of Titanfall. You all heard me say it 1,000 times, but Titanfall's movement is one of the best in all of gaming. Seriously, it's so good and I just can't overemphasize it enough. But why then does it drive new players away? And that's kind of simple. Most people who play video games simply do not take well to games with advanced movement mechanics. Titanfall is no exception. Honestly, in Titanfall, it may be worse, considering how nuanced the movement can be if you really want to get technical about it. Let me set up a scenario for you to better illustrate my point. New player attempts to play Titanfall. Previous FPS experience is probably COD, maybe something like Counter-Strike or Escape from Tarkov, and like Overwatch. These games have movement per se, but not Titanfall-style movement. They aren't Quake. Now this new player joins a multiplayer match and gets matched with people who have been playing since release. These Titanfall vets proceed to outmaneuver this player using every trick in the book. I know for most of us who've been around the block a while have this movement stuff down, or at least the basics like slide hopping. But for this new player, they just have no idea. So after a few games of getting constantly deleted, they uninstall the game. Mostly it's due to sheer information overload. I've seen this a few times personally as well. I've gotten about 5 of my friends to try Titanfall 2 on different occasions with varying levels of success. But let's just say that I'd had bad Yelp reviews and some case of food poisoning if I was a restaurant. I never asked, but I can always tell that my friends just straight up didn't really get the game's movement mechanics. Now, of course, they understood basics like wall running and double jump, but slide hopping was above their heads at this point, and only one of my friends really went out of his way to figure out how to slide hop and learn more movement. The others gave it up long before they ever really learned. While Titanfall's movement is slick, smooth, and silky, it also acts as a barrier of entry for a lot of people. The barrier to entry, along with the high skill ceiling, just seems to be frustrating to new players. And I think this is probably the first reason that people leave Titanfall 2 before ever really giving it a fair shake. Next is the Titans. In my opinion, this is probably the main reason why people quit Titanfall, which is sort of ironic because Titanfall's original selling point was, oh, it's COD but with mechs. Titan combat is hard, and I think a lot of veteran players forget that because they've been playing the game for so long. Not only is Titan combat hard to learn, but you're asked to learn how to move as a pilot and play as a Titan at the same time. Titanfall's combat is one of 3 things: pilot versus pilot, Titans versus Titans, and pilots versus Titans. These 3 are mixed in together in Titanfall's most popular game mode, Attrition. Titan versus Titan combat is hard, and it's really based on a lot of positioning, and sometimes picking certain Titans while playing a certain map. But Titans really aren't the issue. It's when a new player doesn't have a Titan and the other team has their Titans. Most new players have no idea how to destroy a Titan as a pilot, and it's truly a learned skill, but it's another facet of gameplay that isn't usually the easiest to pick up on. These new players spend their time getting absolutely deleted by Titans as a pilot, then they finally get their Titan, then their Titan gets deleted because the entire enemy team has their cores. Now, do I hate the Titan combat? No, I actually think it's really good. I wouldn't even change it. Most players just won't stick around to learn it or, get good. But if Titanfall 3 is made, I think that player retention is a solvable issue. I've seen people suggesting dumbing down the movement or the Titans, and I don't think it's a great idea. Instead, Titanfall 3 should take inspiration from complicated MOBAs like Dota 2 and League of Legends and how they teach new players to play, which is a multiplayer tutorial. Yes, I think Titanfall 3 should implement some sort of multiplayer tutorial. In this tutorial, you're taught the basic movements, such as slide hopping and tap strafing. This tutorial can also incorporate an overview of the Titans and how to play with and against each of the types. Lastly, the game should teach new players how to effectively take down a Titan as a pilot. This way, a new player isn't just totally overwhelmed when they first get into a game with the 3 different variants of Titanfall's combat. And I really hope this would help Titanfall 3 retain more players than its predecessors. And that's all I've got for you guys today. Let me know down in the comments below why you think new players leave Titanfall. Also, let me know how you'd fix the issue. Thank you all so much for watching and supporting the channel. It honestly really means a lot to me. I'm going to keep the videos coming out, so if you guys enjoy my content, please consider hitting that sub button. It would mean a lot if you did. Thanks again, you guys. Take care, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.